Good morning. Today is the 5th of October 2023 and I'm just going to recap my trading plan for today. On my screen is the MES, the Micros E-mini S&P index futures, and it's the same chart as the ES, which is the E-minis S&P. I trade the micros because it's 10 times smaller and gives me a bit more flexibility for my account size. So we're currently looking at the hourly time frame, and we just recap yesterday's day. So you can see potentially we put in this bottom on Tuesday and we came in, so we got this bottom, potentially a head excuse me, and potentially a shoulder here, and we created the neckline as well. So yesterday we broke through the neckline, we pulled back into it, into the area, and we broke through it and pushed back up. So we are potentially looking for continuation from yesterday, and we've got two key areas to keep an eye on. So this first area is 42.7750, which is also the neckline area as well, and a daily level. If you look at the daily chart, this area here is pretty significant. It was the ceiling at one point and it became the ceiling, and then it came back down and retested it before we saw the rally up, and now we came in, we retested it here, we poked through it, came back up, and we've retested it again today. So it's proven to be a significant area, so I'm keeping that daily level in there because it's a good point of interest on the my door's about to rattle. It's a good point of interest on the hourly, so it gives me something to reference. So potentially we're looking for a break and a retest of this level, so that's what I'm watching for, 42.7750. And if we're going to see a big push back down, we've got to get down through this 50 moving average, which we've pulled back and tested it today, and we've been below it since yesterday's highs, and we broke out Tuesday's highs, and we broke out, we tested it yesterday and broke back through it, and we're kind of sitting on it. So potentially we could see it push up, but if we are to test this area, we need a breakthrough, retest, and that'd be my entry for the move down, with the target at 42.53, this demand zone. Oh, there's not much in between. Potentially there's a little bit of higher volume here, so we may see a bit of a hiccup in this area, and it could also act as natural support as well. There's not much volume, as you can see from the volume profile tool, so it's lower or average volume, so this could be a bit of a void, so a good target would be the bottom of there or this area as well. So that's the first area I'm watching. One thing to note as well, it is also the 50% area on this fibs, on the Fibonacci's. So we've got two fibs, we've got, oh, that's fine, I use that, I don't know why it's, thank you Windows. So we've got the first fibs, which is from measured from the top to there, and I've got the second fibs, which is measured from, it's just as you can probably hear from my voice, I'm still a little bit under the weather, from this pivot as well. So we've got two pivots. This pivot is a fib, I've got left, and we've got fibs from that pivot, and we're currently seeing 50% and the 50% there, the 618 and the 618 there, and you can see this particular one, let's just mark it, so it's coming off from 43.35 area down to the low is where it was honoured yesterday. So we came into the 618 here and rejected it, came back into it again today, or that area, and rejected it. It's also an area of confidence as well, where we've got the bottoms of candles, and we had a bit of a fight here, pulled up and pushed back down, and we have tested that area a few times as well. So whether we can test it again and bounce today, I don't know. So this is an area I'm watching for a break and retest long, so it has to be a retest, and the target would be 43.14, 43.15, this area, and this is going to be my next level. I'll be watching this for a potential rejection. Potentially we'll have the 200 moving average catching up with it as well at that point as well. So I'm watching for a rejection at 43.15, 43.14, 50, that area. So that's pretty much it really. If we can get above this area today and above the 200, then we've got this supply zone at 43.25 to 43.30 to keep an eye out for. So to sum up levels for today, excuse me, I'm watching for a break and retest of the pre-market highs and this 618 area, which is 4300 to 4301. I'm watching for a potential reject, and that's only if we don't have a grinding up day. So if we have a big candle coming into this, then I'll be watching for a reject at 43.15 area, and then we've got this area supply as well for a reject at 43.25 to 43.30. As for bounces, so we've got this is a long, the others are short positions. As for bounces, potentially a bounce here for a double bottom, so take up this type of pattern, but it is on the 50% Fibonacci retracement for this Fibonacci as well. But really, I'll be watching this area for a bounce. If we can come back down to put in a double bottom. And if we do break down through this area, I'll be looking for a break and a retest short down to zero, but I'll change my bias to a long. I think that's it really. Looking at the weekly still, we're in a weekly downtrend. We've poked through the 50 moving average on the weekly and we're coming back up to reclaim it again. So potentially keep an eye on this. And we did talk about an anomaly as well yesterday, where we've got above average volume candle on a smaller narrow range candle. If you compare it to the previous candle, this one here, that's a twice the body size but not half but lower volume, and so this could signify that we might be starting to see a change of trend potentially. And of course we've got this area of support which helps as well, and we've got the 50 moving average all in that area, so we could see a bit of a change of trend, or we could just see it do something like this and just continue down. So that's kind of watching. If we do pull back, then we've got the 440 areas potential target on the weekly, and if it breaks that level there, which is 4500, then potentially the weekly downtrend will be changed into an uptrend. So that's it really for MES. Looking at SPY, very similar. If we can come back up to this area 425.40, we'll be watching for a break and retest. Could potentially higher risk rejection 425.40 as well. Yeah, with confirmation as well. We've got a rejection area again at 427, and similar to ES, if we can get down to this area, we can look for a bounce maybe there, potentially here, for a move back up, or a break and retest short into this demand zone 418, where we could see a particular bounce at 417 or 418. And see where that's coming from. That's going back a while. That goes back several weeks to June. Was that the 1st of June, where we had a bit of a pivot, and we haven't been down there since June. So potentially that's an area to watch for. Qs, it's looking a bit stronger than ES and SPY. Excuse me. We've got a bottom pivot there, a higher low here, so it hasn't made a double bottom, it's putting a higher low, and we are above the 50, and we did try to get above the 200. We did close above the 200 in the pre-market, but we gave it back, so this is an area to watch for. So we are potentially watching for, I should draw some lines. Let's join this together. this area. No, it's a bit, I don't like that, that's fine. Just trying to see whether we're going to be, I think that's the area to watch for. If we can break over 360, 50, 361 probably. If we can break 361, then we've got a bit of resistance here as well at 362. But then we've got a clear run all the way up to 368, potentially 367, 368, 370, that area. So this is the area we need to clear to actually break out of this bit of a sideways patch. So levels, potentially a rejection here at 362 or a break and retest long. Yeah, I don't like this area. We've got a rejection area there, 360.82. Let's put that in, and that's just based on when we had the last powerful move and it was here. So we came in and we saw this big drop, so potentially we've still got sellers still sitting there waiting to sell to get back in on that action. So that's an area to watch for, 361 area roughly. And if we were looking for a bounce, 357.50 area, and that's basically because we've got area confluence, bottoms of candles, almost the tops, more bottoms here. We came in, we retested it as well, and we haven't come back down to that area, so we do a bounce around that area. So that's the areas I'd watch for. We're quite close to it, so higher risk as well. Looking at NASDAQ, it's the same as Q's. Got the levels, so we've got higher congested volume around this area as well. So potentially we could watch for a bounce. I've got the fibs there as well. Where's the fibs come from? 618. So the fibs were joined in from this pivot down to this pivot low, and we've got the 618 just sitting there and the 50% there. So potentially we've been sitting on this 618 for some time. We came through it yesterday, we bounced from it, came back up, come back down to the 618, and we tried to test it again today. So this is proven to be a bit of a significant area. It's a coincidence that it happens to be also on this area where we've got this level, which happens to be bottoms of candles as well. Or there's not really a coincidence, there's no coincidences. I think the key area is to get over 15,000, this area here. If we can clear that area, we're going to have a move up. But we have got 14,950 as potential rejection area or a break and retest. And then this is an area to watch for. And for bounce wise, if we can get down to the 50%, we might have to see a bounce. And that's at 14,800, 14,817. And it's bottoms of candles as well, tops of candles here. And obviously we've got this area down below, which is the double bottom, which we're still part of. Like I said, for us to, if we were to zoom out, if we wanted to make this double bottom play out, we need to break through this area here. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. If we can push up today, pull back, we could see a move up, and we've got this big void as well. So potentially a big void of area we could look to fill over the next few days. So that's NASDAQ, and finally oil. Oh wow, still going down. I've not looked at it today. So yesterday I took a bounce off of the 50 moving average and did okay out of it for that small pullback. I'll be honest, I was expecting a bigger move than it did, but it's come right in. Look at this, the level I drew, touched it, and this level's, you know, we've had these levels in place for a long time now, and it came right up to the level, you know, right on it. So I'm going to be potentially looking for a swing long, because it's the area I've been waiting for. maybe a smaller entry here and maybe a bigger entry get down towards the 200 and this demand zone. Let's look at the hourly. Oh, I am actually up for the day as well because I did a trade. I'll go into that in a minute. Volume wise, we had quite a lot of volume coming in as we were declining here, and we've got increasing volume on this pullback as well. Not sure if the trend's finished yet. We've got this top and tail candle which doesn't look great on higher volume as well, so potentially we've still got a move to come down. So let's see levels. We could watch for a potential bounce at this point in the hourly. Yeah, it just threw me a bit because obviously there's all this volume in the post market, in the pre-market. It's almost as much volume as yesterday's normal time, market time, and I thought I was looking at yesterday's charts. That's quite a lot of volume. If you look at a normal pre-market volume, it's a bit lower, but you do get a lot of volume from 3 AM, and that's when the UK and the European markets open. It just seems unusually large volume, but it seems about right, I suppose. You look at yesterday, we had that big candle at 9. All these candles at 9 as well. Yeah, so nothing unusual. So we are looking still weak. Potentially we've got a bounce at 82.34. The retest is already gone, which is at 84, which is this level here. So we'll just keep an eye on it. If we can see a bounce and I can see a better candle, like a hammer candle or bottom tail candle come in, then potentially the break of that candle up could be a good move intraday today. I'm on the hourly, so I'll be watching on the 5 as well. The 5 minute could be showing us a higher low potentially, so I'll keep an eye on this. That's a nice little buy setup there. But one to watch. I don't want to get in it just yet. I need to go back to the hourly. See where we are. If you get into it now, you'll be going long into this wall of resistance, and we've got higher volume over here as well. So it needs to break up through that area and push up for a long, and that's what I'll be watching for in the swing as well. And I'll be watching on the hourly to go for the swing. And then I'll just quickly talk about my trade from today. Let's go to the 5 minute chart. And one second. It was at 6 AM. Here we go. So 6 AM today I went long here. So at the break of that candle, long, it pulled back on me a little tiny bit. My stop was down here. Took profit here, and then I come out of the trade there when it broke down, and then I saw it push back up, so I got back in again because I saw a bit of increased volume, and it pushed, and I thought we're doing okay, so I got back out of it again there, so I kind of lost a little tiny bit there, and then I waited, and then when it broke the VWAP a second, was it the third time I think it was, got back in again, and I trailed it up to, I think when did I get out? It was at just after 8, so I got out, yeah, about there. That's about, I got out literally there, so not a bad trade. I was in there and I was out up here with a little bit of messing around here. I should have just, I don't know why, I was trying to cut my loss there. When it came down, I wanted to get out of the trade and find a new ad, but you can see it wasn't much of an ad by going in there. I got in, I didn't like the red candle, even though in my mind I said it was putting in a bit of a flag pattern as well, and I should have just left it as it was, because I ended up losing a bit of the move in this choppy area when I was just trying to fine tune my entry. And had I just left it in and then added on the break of the flag, it would have been a much better trade. But yeah, it's a good trade. So that's half my trading done for the day. I don't need to focus as much on finding all entries, so I'll just be looking for A+ entries today. So wait for my levels. Okay, thank you for watching, and don't forget to know your levels and trust your levels as well. And an area even though I do my levels every day, sometimes I do find that I don't trust them as much. And the reason I got out of the trade earlier today was because I had this level in place. Let's go back. Was it 8 AM? Yeah. So I had this level in place, and it's 4,300 of psychological. In fact, I didn't get out there. I got out just as it broke through 4,300. That was my target. So not a bad trade. And no, that's a slight lie. It was just before 4,300 because I saw loads of on Bookmap. I saw loads and loads of sellers up here, 4,300 to 4,305, and so I wanted to get out just before them. So that's my idea why I got out a bit earlier. But my target was 4,300. Yes, a good day. So that's why trusting the levels. I knew that level was in place. I didn't even need to look at Bookmap because I knew it would be a potential area of resistance. And down here as well, I had the daily level in as well, so I trusted my level, saw it touch, waited for confirmation, which was this RBI, or I wasn't looking at the RBI, it was basically a 3-bar play or an RBI play, both the same, but I was just waiting for the next change of colour after this. So we had that candle. I should have got in there. In fact, I say I should have got in there. I'm looking at I'll go back into I might have got in there actually, because I took 2 entries. No, it was exactly where I thought it was, yeah. I was playing it safe. I was tempted to, that's my tempted area, but I thought, no, I'll wait, and I wanted to find it, get it above the first moving average and above this area as well. So that's why I took it. So yeah, good entry. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you